UNCLOS, right? UNCLOS we'll discuss today. First, let me sort of brief you what we have to study in UNCLOS. It is a little longer, right? So class will be a little longer. Now remember, in the case of UNCLOS, study it very smartly, right? How to do it? So what happens in the case of UNCLOS, that we have a little bit of geography, First, let me tell you. See, what happens when a continental shelf breaks away, it do not break away normally, but it breaks away something like this, right? Suppose there is two land mass, it breaks away, so it breaks like this, okay? It do not break horizontally, obviously. So this portion which is submerged below sea, that is actually subdivided into multiple parts. Now there are two types of division here. One is geographical. What is the name of geographical division? सबसे साइड वाले को क्या बोलते हैं? Continental shelf. फिर कहते हैं continental slope. Then we have, वो तो ऊपर पानी के ऊपर है, नीचे बताइए. Geographical differentiation. Yes, online people. कौन कह दिया स्टेट सक्सेशन खत्म नहीं हुआ? कहाँ तुम घूम रहे हो? ओके, तो हाँ, तीसरा बताइए क्या होता है इसके बाद? डीप सी प्लेन्स. यहाँ प्लेन होता है ये, ठीक है ना? तो ध्यान से पढ़िएगा ज्योग्राफी में. लेकिन लीगली वी डिवाइडेड इन डिफरेंट मैनर. लीगली वी डिवाइडेड विथ रिगार्ड टू द डिस्टेंसेस ऑन द सी, okay, not on the flow. Understood? So in law we are mostly concerned with protecting this continental shelf. We are concerned with protecting this continental shelf. Why? The reason is that because lot of resources we get on the continental shelf, right? Lot of mineral resources. You must have seen India also, the Bombay High, the petroleum that we get mostly, is this on this continental shelf, right? So lot of resources we have. So we want to protect the continental shelf. There is other marine resource also that is available, that you must be aware. If the depth is not more than 500 meter from the sea level, then the sunlight can penetrate. So the richest fisheries of the world you will find in this region. Okay, so there is a lot of economic thing to protect, right? Now obviously I always tell ultimately the purpose of the law is to regulate economy, right? The same thing applies here. So what we have done, that we have divided the entire sea into 4 areas referred as territorial water. Then we have from here territorial water, then we have here contiguous zone, from then we have here exclusive economic zone, and then we have high sea, right? So legally speaking it is divided into 4 areas. What are those 4 areas? Remember it. First is territorial water, second is contiguous, then exclusive economic zone, and then high sea. Now remember, I have told you that, yes, very correct. Now I have told you that the purpose of having this kind of zone is to protect continental shelf. Okay? Now suppose the continental shelf is up to EEZ. The continental shelf is up to EEZ, okay? Then beyond it becomes high sea. But if the continental shelf extends beyond EEZ, then the distance of EEZ also expands along with it. Up to a limit, but it expands along with it. Why? Because ultimately whatever you take this consideration, the purpose is to protect continental shelf. Why to protect continental shelf? Natural resources. Natural है ना, जैसे मान लीजिए आपको यहाँ पे सपोज यहाँ पे एक लेयर है सेल गैस की, ठीक है, और ऊपर से अगर आप इसे खोदना शुरू करेंगे तो इट विल टेक यू लॉट ऑफ मनी, 2-3 किलोमीटर्स या 3 किलोमीटर ज़्यादा हो गया 400-500 मीटर्स. लेकिन अगर ये ब्रेक कर गया तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये क्या हो गया, सरफेस पे आ गया. यू कैन लिटरली पंप इट आउट. ठीक है. सो दे आर वेरी रिच इन नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. समझ में आ रही बात ये? ठीक है. सो इट मीन्स कि द एंटायर UNCLOS, द पर्पस इज टू द कंट्री शुड हैव कंट्रोल ओवर नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. समझ में आ रही बात ये? क्लियर है, राइट? सो मतलब ये हुआ कि EEZ की भी बाउंड्री कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ के बियॉन्ड शिफ्ट करती है, तो EEZ की बाउंड्री उसके साथ क्या हो जाती है, शिफ्ट हो जाती है अप टू अ पर्टिकुलर डिस्टेंस. ऑब्वियसली अगर मान लीजिए किसी का कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ बहुत ही बड़ा है, जैसे नॉर्थ अमेरिका और साउथ अमेरिका का जो डिस्टेंस है, वहाँ यू विल सी द कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ इज 600 किलोमीटर लॉन्ग. मतलब ये जो डिस्टेंस है 600 किलोमीटर, तो ऑब्वियसली उतनी दूर तो नहीं दे सकते हम कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ. ठीक है. सो अप टू अ लिमिट वी लिमिटेड. Understood this particular point? So it means the one thing that you must remember, that the entire purpose of the law of sea is to have some sort of right to the neighboring countries or the territorial water state over continental shelf. ठीक है, ये एक point clear. Now let us see that how it is governed. So remember one point. Initially we had UNCLOS I. 15 साल negotiation चला, and for that we only had the provision of territorial water and EEZ. CEZ and EEZ. Then after we thought कि नहीं यार main तो continental shelf है, so we had a separate convention on continental shelf. Now this separate convention that was called UNCLOS II. Now this separate convention and the initial was merged together, and after almost 10 years of negotiation again a document emerged which remains the main governing document called UNCLOS III. Simple line, United Nations Convention of Law of Sea. So UNCLOS III remains the most important document which governs our continental shelf, the entirety of the region of the continental shelf, not only continental shelf. So